Welcome to the Payroll System Excel template tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to set up your company and employees, process payroll, generate payslips, track paid time off, manage contractors, and review your payroll dashboard. This download includes a completed sample file and a clean blank file. I'm using the sample file so you can see how the finished system looks like. Let us begin with the dashboard. This page gives you a quick overview of your payroll activity. At the top, you can see the active employees, gross pay, net pay, total employer cost, contractor spending, and paid time off used. The monthly chart compares gross pay, net pay, and total employer cost. The payroll sales cycle status section tells you what period is open, the next pay date, how many payroll entries have been completed, and whether any contractor payments remain outstanding. The lower section shows payroll by department, the distribution of payroll costs, and a monthly summary. You do not manually type information into this dashboard, it updates from the other tabs. Before entering data, open the Guide tab. This page explains the recommended setup order and how each part of the workbook works. The most important rule is simple. Yellow cells are intended for manual input. White cells usually contain formulas. Avoid typing over these cells. The safest workflow is to complete the settings first, then employees, and then followed by the payroll one. The remaining reports will update automatically. The settings tab controls the entire workbook. Begin by entering the company name and the currency label that you want to display. Next, select your payroll frequency, enter the payroll year, and choose the first month of your fiscal year. You can also enter the overtime multiplier used for hourly employees. Further down, you can customize the names of employee deductions, statutory deductions, and employer payroll taxes. Enter the appropriate rates beside each item. You may also customize the departments and payroll status labels so they match your business. The settings feed into employee records, payroll calculations, reports, and payslips. Please note that this template uses editable percentage rate. It does not automatically determine the tax rules for a specific country or jurisdiction. Always enter the correct rates for your business and verify the results before paying employees. Next, open the Employees tab. Enter one employee per row. Give every employee a unique employee ID, and then enter their name, department, position, hire date, status, and current employment status. Under pay type, you can select either salary or hourly. For a salaried employee, base rate should contain their regular salary amount for one payroll period. For an hourly employee, base rate should contain their hourly rate. You can then enter the employee's income tax rate, the retirement contribution, the monthly health deduction, the vacation entitlement, and the sick leave entitlement. The notes column can hold additional information that does not belong in the calculation fields. Employee names and payroll details entered here will become available throughout the rest of the workbook. The Payroll 1 tab is where payroll is processed. Use one row for each employee in each payroll period. Begin by selecting the payroll period and the employee. So you can select it from the drop downs. Just scroll up. Let's say David Kowalski. And then everything should automatically fill up. All the white ones, of course. The month number, department, pay type, base rate pulled automatically from your setup. For salaried employees, the regular base pay is calculated from their salary rate. For the hourly employees, enter the number of regular hours and any overtime hours. You can also enter bonuses and allowances and any additional deductions that apply only to this payroll run. Once the inputs are entered, the workbook calculates base pay, overtime pay, gross pay, retirement deductions, health deductions, yeah, taxable pay, income tax, net pay, social security, Medicare, and total employer costs. Review every calculated amount before approving your payroll. The status column can be used, this one, can be used uh, to mark an entry as draft, approved, or paid, depending on the labels entered in settings. The notes column is available for payroll-specific comments. This one. After processing payroll, open the Payslip tab. Use the selection cells at the top. These are the employees. You can choose the employee and the payroll period. So let's say it's Marcus Chen. Then everything should automatically pull from the data that we already inputted. Okay, and also with the period, it should also automatically update. Right. The payslip will display these informations, as you see, the earnings, the deductions, net pay, the employer cost information, and also the year-to-date totals. Then you have to check that the employee and the payroll period are correct before printing. So you can print the payslip directly from Excel or export it as a PDF using Excel Print or Save as PDF option. So what I would suggest is that before you print the payslip, make sure you put your logo here. So that's why I put it in red. And then highlight the details here, and then go to File, click Print, and then here in the settings, make sure that you select Print Selection so that it will only print the selected ones. Not it doesn't include the navigation buttons on the left side. And then you can print it on the letter or on the normal margin or whatever you want on these other settings. Okay, and then you can now print it or save it as a PDF. Repeat the selection process for each employee who need a payslip every period. So then it should be easier by at this point. The YTD summary consolidates payroll activity for each employee. It shows total gross pay, the deductions, the taxable pay, employee taxes, the net pay, and then the employer taxes. And then here will be your total costs for the year. This is for the year. Yes. This report is generated from the payroll run. You should not manually enter payroll totals here. As you can see, there are no light yellow cells in this sheet tab. So this is just for summary. You should just look, this should just be a view section, sheet tab. Use it for manual internal reviews, employee level analysis, and year-to-date location. As you can see, the totals are up here, up the headers, so that even if you scroll down, you can still see the totals. The PTO tracker monitors vacation, sick leave, unpaid leave, and other leaves. The upper section, this one, shows each employee's entitlement, leave used, and remaining balance. Employee names and leave entitlements comes from the employee tab. To record leave, so you have the vacation, entitled use left, and then sick, entitled use left. This is the unpaid days, and then these are the other days. So to log the leaves, we scroll down below here. As you can see, these are cells in light yellow. It means that these are intended for manual input. So this is where you will input the leaves. To record the leaves, you can go here and start from the bottom of the table. You start by entering the start date here, and then end date here, the name of the employee here, the leave type. You can use drop down, and then here the number of working days, and then the approver who approves, approved or approved, and then any relevant notes here. The balances above here will automatically be based on the leave entries. Contractor payments are kept separate from the employee payroll. In the upper section, it lists each contractor, their service or role, and their contact information. The paid, outstanding, and the total billed amounts are calculated from the payment logs. And the payment log is found here at the bottom. Okay, and here you input the or you enter the invoice date, the contractor. As you can see, it's a drop down here, and then the description, the invoice number, the amount, the status, if it's unpaid or paid, the paid date, and also the notes here. You can mark unpaid invoices clearly, so the dashboard can show the outstanding contractor balance. This section is for payment tracking only. It does not treat contractors as employees or calculate employee payroll taxes. Then now we go to the calendar. You use the calendar to tab to plan the payroll year. So yeah, this is for the planning for each month. Enter the payroll period, start date, end date, process period start, end period, the processing cut off, and then the pay date, current status, if it is paid, open, or processing, and then the number of runs and the gross pay. These are actually automatically calculated. Runs means number of pay runs, payroll runs. And here is the note. So in case you need something to write something else. Use the notes column, yeah, for other like reminders such as this annual salary reviews, public holidays, or quarter end procedures. And at the bottom here, there are totals. It's just for the runs and the gross pay. Keeping this calendar complete makes the payroll cycle status section on the dashboard much more useful. And now I guess it's the right time to go back to the dashboard. Okay, because after entering your information, you can return to the dashboard, and here your employee totals, payroll costs, contractor activity, paid time of usage charts, and monthly summaries will update automatically. So months without payroll data remain blank in the charts. This prevents future months from appearing as false zero values. Use the dashboard as your regular payroll review page, but always verify the detailed payroll records before making payments. And also, there's a hidden tab here, which is I don't think you need, but there's a data helper sheet, and that data tab contains helper calculations used by the dashboard and charts. So that hidden sheet is not intended for manual input. So I will not be introducing it here in my tutorial. Let's leave it as it is. Its formulas unchanged so that it will not break. That completes the setup and the payroll workflow. The recommended order is you go to the settings, the employees, calendar, payroll run, payslip, and then your supporting trackers and reports. Save a backup copy before making major changes and always confirm your tax rates and payroll obligations with a qualified professional. Thank you for using the payroll system Excel template. Have a nice day. Bye bye.